How snipers stay focused for 72 hours straight. It's almost unfair. Most people can't focus for 10 minutes. Their phone buzzes, they check it. A notification pops up, they're gone. A thought floats through their head, they chase it. Meanwhile, military snipers lie motionless in the dirt for 72 hours straight. No movement, no sound. Heart rate controlled, breathing slowed. Locked onto a target 1,000 meters away. Waiting. They don't get distracted. They can't. One slip in focus and they're dead. You lose focus and you just scroll Instagram. Same brain, different results. Why? Because snipers know something about attention that nobody ever taught you. 3 things, actually. And by the end of this video, you'll never approach focus the same way again. Chapter 1. Your attention is being stolen. Right now, your focus is not broken. It's being harvested. Every app on your phone was engineered by a team of neuroscientists whose entire job is to hijack your dopamine system. They're not designing features, they're designing addiction loops, and they're winning. The average person checks their phone 96 times a day. That's once every 10 minutes. Every single check resets your focus clock to 0. University of California Irvine researchers found it takes 23 minutes to reach deep focus after an interruption. You get interrupted every 10. Do the math. You never actually focus. Not once, not in a single day. You just fake it. Most people think they're focused when they're working. Wrong. They're in a constant low-grade state of distracted half-attention. Psychologists call this attention residue. Your brain is still mentally chewing on the last thing you looked at. The text message, the email, the meme. Even after you put the phone down, your brain is still back there. Still processing, still half gone. You're physically present, but cognitively absent. That's not focus, that's just being awake. Snipers don't have this problem. Not because they're superhuman, because their environment forces a different neurological state. Their training eliminates the option of distraction entirely. And here's the brutal truth. Your brain isn't weak, your environment is broken. Fix the environment first, everything else follows. Here's what that looks like in practice. Before any deep work session, you do a hard reset. Phone in another room. Not on silent, another room. Research by Adrian Ward at the University of Texas showed that the mere presence of a smartphone on a desk, even face down, even silent, reduces your available cognitive capacity. Just having it nearby costs you IQ points. You're not fighting willpower, you're fighting proximity. Remove the object, recover the brain. But here's the problem though. Even in a clean environment, most people still can't focus. Why? Because they never learned how to actually direct their attention. That's a skill, and snipers train it like a muscle. Chapter 2 will show you exactly how. Chapter 2, the stillness drill. Snipers go through something called observation training. You put them in a field, grass, trees, nothing obvious. Hidden inside that field are 10 objects placed by instructors. A bottle cap, a piece of wire, a button. The sniper has to find all 10 within a set time window. Without moving, without making noise. Just eyes, just attention. Slow, deliberate, systematic scanning. Most recruits fail spectacularly the first time. They look without seeing. Their eyes move, but their attention scatters. They're processing everything at once and retaining nothing. Sound familiar? This is exactly how most people read. Eyes moving across the page, brain somewhere else entirely. You reach the bottom of the paragraph and realize you absorbed nothing. So you go back, read it again. Still nothing. This is passive attention, and passive attention is useless. The sniper's fix is called attentional focusing. It's not about seeing more, it's about seeing less, deliberately. Narrow your attention to one small zone. Process it completely, then move. One sector at a time. Full presence in each sector. Zero presence everywhere else. Psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent decades studying peak performance states. He called it flow. The defining feature of flow? Complete absorption in a single task. No self-monitoring, no future planning, no distraction processing. Just the task, just now. And here's the thing most people get completely wrong. Flow doesn't just happen, it's triggered. Csikszentmihalyi identified the exact conditions required. The task must be slightly harder than your current skill level. Too easy, your brain drifts. Too hard, you panic. The sweet spot is the edge of your ability. Snipers live there permanently. Every scenario is calibrated to push them just past comfortable. That's not accident, that's engineering. Your job is to engineer the same thing. Hit subscribe before you forget. We train focus here. Here's how you build this in your actual life. Pick your hardest task, not a medium task, the one you've been avoiding, the one that requires real thinking. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Commit to zero switching. If your mind wanders, and it will, you don't follow the thought. You label it. Planning, worrying, random, then return. This is exactly what mindfulness researchers call metacognitive redirection. You're not suppressing thoughts, you're noticing them without chasing them. The noticing itself trains the attention muscle. Robert Bjork at UCLA calls the struggle of returning attention a desirable difficulty. Every time your mind wanders and you bring it back, that's a rep. You're literally doing focus push-ups. The wandering isn't failure. The return is the workout. But here's the problem though. You can clean your environment, trigger flow states, train your attention, and you'll still hit a wall around the 90-minute mark. Your focus collapses, energy drops, brain fog moves in. Snipers solved this problem decades ago. Chapter 3 explains the method. Chapter 3, the biological reset. Snipers on long surveillance operations use something called tactical rest cycles. Not sleep, not full breaks, micro-recovery. Here's the concept. Your brain operates on something called ultradian rhythms, 90-minute cycles of high neurological alertness followed by a 20-minute recovery trough. This isn't metaphor. This is measurable brainwave activity, documented by sleep researcher Nathaniel Kleitman, the same scientist who discovered REM sleep. Every 90 minutes, your brain is biologically signaling for a reset. Most people override this signal with caffeine, willpower, and denial. Then they wonder why their afternoon is a cognitive wasteland. Snipers don't override the signal. They weaponize it. During long operations, they rotate attention focus between team members. One sniper actively observes while the partner enters a controlled rest state. Eyes closed, breathing slowed. Not asleep, but neurologically recovering. 10 to 15 minutes. Then switch. Full alertness restored. Cognitive performance maintained for hours beyond what a single person could sustain alone. You don't have a spotter, but you have the same biology. The tactical rest protocol works like this. Work at maximum intensity for 90 minutes. When the fog starts creeping in, that's your ultradian signal. Don't push through it. Stop. Completely. 15 to 20 minutes of genuine rest. No phone, no input. Eyes closed or a slow walk outside. No podcasts, no content, nothing. Your prefrontal cortex needs silence to reset. Give it silence. Most people think breaks are wasted time. Wrong. Breaks are when your brain consolidates what it just processed. Neuroscientist Mary Helen Imordino-Yang at USC found that the brain's default mode network, which activates during rest, is critical for memory consolidation, creative insight, and long-term learning. When you refuse to rest, you're not being productive. You're being stupid. You're filling a bucket with a hole in the bottom. Rest plugs the hole. There's one more piece though, and this is the one most people never hear about. It's what separates people who build focus permanently from people who just have one good focus day and then collapse back into distraction. Chapter 4, the identity shift. Psychologist James Clear spent years studying behavioral change. His conclusion was blunt. Most people try to change their outcomes. Smart people change their identity. There's a massive difference between "I'm trying to focus more" and "I'm someone who focuses." The first is a goal. The second is an identity. And your brain will always behave in ways consistent with who it believes you are. Snipers don't try to be patient. They are patient. It's not an effort. It's an identity baked into every decision, every habit, every automatic response. When conditions get hard, they don't have to convince themselves to stay still. Stillness is simply who they are. This gets built through repetition over time. Thousands of reps of returning attention. thousands of reps of choosing the harder task, thousands of reps of sitting in discomfort without escaping, until the escape urge simply doesn't arise with the same intensity anymore. Stanford researcher Carol Dweck calls this identity-based learning. When you attach your focus practice to a self-concept rather than just a goal, you're neurologically rewiring your default behavior. And research on habit formation by Philippa Lally at University College London found that behavioral automaticity, meaning behavior that happens without conscious effort, forms after roughly 66 days of consistent repetition. Not 21 days, that's a myth. 66 days of showing up, 66 days of returning attention, 66 days of building the identity brick by brick. Start today. One 25-minute block, one hard task. No phone in the room, that's it. The sniper doesn't train for 72 hours on day one. They build it incrementally over years. You're building it now. Every single rep counts. Here's what you now know that most people will never apply. Your attention is being harvested by systems designed to steal it, and the fix starts with your environment, not your willpower. Focus is a trainable skill, built through deliberate attentional reps the same way snipers train their eyes. Your brain runs on 90-minute biological cycles, and fighting them costs you more than resting ever would. And lasting focus isn't a habit, it's an identity. Build the identity and the behavior follows automatically. Most people will watch this, feel inspired for about 45 minutes, then pick up their phone and disappear back into the noise. Don't be most people. You already know what to do. Start with one session. Today, prove to yourself who you actually are. Now here's the deal. If this changed how you think about focus, there are thousands of people out there who need to hear this too. Hit subscribe and hit the bell. Not because you have to, because every video on this channel is built the same way. Real research, real methods, zero fluff. No motivational fog, just systems that actually work. You came here to get better. Stay here to keep getting better. New video drops soon, and it covers something that will completely change how you approach learning. Not just focus, the entire process of getting information from the outside world into permanent memory. You will not want to miss it. Watch that next.